as we get started, we are going to be going to the live markets. Well, actually, they're not live. It's Saturday, so we do have a day that they're closed. But we're going to be going to the markets, and we're going to be setting up some trades, finding some quality trades for next week. In fact, my goal for this is to help set up next week, try to participate in finding 2, 3, maybe even 400 to 500 pips worth of opportunities. Now, you might not know what a pip is. We're going to go through all of this today. As we get kicked off, I want to make sure that everybody understands there are risks involved and associated with trading and investing. Please be aware of those risks and willing to accept them. Also understand, very important, I am not a commodity traded advisor. What that means is I'm not here to give you advice. I'm not here to trade for you. I'm here to teach. I'm here to show, educate, mentor, etc. And I want you to get the most out of this webinar that you possibly can. My name is Tyson Clayton. I am Market Trader Institute's product expert, Forex mastermind. I'm very, very happy to be here. And I've been in this business in one way or another for about 17 years. I always say that I have a few loves in life. My faith is number one, my family, and I love the markets. And with my love of the markets, it's helped me provide for my family in great ways, but it's also helped me be able to teach, be able to be a part of Market Traders Institute, whom I consider to be the greatest trading and investing company in the world. But it allows me to teach. I've been very blessed in this business, and you know, the ability to give back is important to me. So, but I've helped train thousands of investors myself. I've made thousands of investments. I'm an international speaker, professional analyst, and a full-time trader. This is what I do. This is how I generate income for me and my family. And hopefully by the end of this presentation, I have two main goals. Right? There's two main purposes for me, for my part of this presentation. It's to show you that, to shed some light on the fact that there are many individuals out there, hundreds, thousands of people making a tremendous amount of money in the financial markets. It's very, very important. That's where all of this starts, right? I started 17 years ago with the thought, like, I wonder if there are really people doing this. So it has to start there. And then number two, I want you guys to understand that, yes, there are people making a lot of money. And then number two, you can do it. And I say that because I know it to be true. If I can do it, then you can do it. And that's a very important thing to understand. I'm not extraordinary in any way. I had a passion for this business, and I dedicated myself to this business. But the way that I learned how to trade and invest is completely different than the way that individuals learn how to trade and invest today. And today, it's much easier. It's much faster because of the advances of technology. Now, we're going to go through that today. I do have something special I want to talk about real fast. I want you to please stick with me all the way to the end. Obviously, we have a jam-packed day today at the Investor Inspiration here. But for my presentation, I have a very special gift for you guys at the end. So please stick with me through this whole presentation for the next hour, hour and a half. Because I have a couple gifts. I have a couple giveaways. In fact, I have 6 of these I can give away. And we have a big anniversary session. Market Traders Institute is celebrating 23 years of changing lives. Now, we've been around the block. I think I've been around the block. No, I haven't been around the block even close to as many times as MTI has. And I'm excited to be a part of this. I was a part of this last year. And we're celebrating in Orlando, Florida. We're going to be celebrating our 23rd anniversary. And our 23rd anniversary of changing 30, 35, almost 40,000 lives, which is absolutely huge. The goal of this is, again, I'm going to give away 6 tickets to this event. It's going to be a 3-day, just jam-packed, amazing event. And what we're going to do is we're going to have lead-up sessions into the event in April. And our guest speakers, now I'm kind of jumping ahead of myself, but I'll give you some hints. Our guest speakers are going to be some amazing people, some of the most well-known motivational speakers in the world, some of the most successful business people in America, guys like Kevin Harrington. The guy's worth $450 million. Wow. Yep. So please, again, stick with me. I wanted to just let you know at the end here, I will have an opportunity for a few of you to get some free tickets. And again, this is going to be a $1,000 value. And so very, very excited that you're here. Excited to show you some of the opportunities in the market. Give me a second. I'm going to take a drink of water. I got to clear my throat. Sorry about that. I had a little bit of a flu last weekend, and this week, the saying is, I guess, it takes 3 days to kind of get the flu, 3 days to get over the flu, or to have the flu, and then 3 days to get over it. I don't know if that's true, but it seems to be true. I look back at the history of this kind of little flu that I had. It took about 3 days to kind of really kick in. Then I had it for about 3 days, and then now it's been about, I think I'm on day 3 of trying to get over it. So anyway, all right. So here's what we're going to go over today. I'm very, very excited. We're going to go over, and this is the things I want you to start thinking about. Right? I believe in a mentality of abundance. I believe in a mentality of we cannot have excuses to kick things down, kick the can down the road. We have to think today. We have to live with urgency because the market is going to always present opportunities, but those that are prepared today are going to be the ones that make the most amount of the opportunities and most money. And so what I want you to think about is how you can start making money today. Now, the markets are open today, but that's fine. What we're going to do is we're going to hone our skills today, and we're going to go into the markets and find opportunities, right? That's what we're going to do. And so what we want to do is we want to try to set ourselves up for next week to really make next week a great week. But I want you guys to have that today mentality. I also want you to understand that we're going to go through a very, very powerful strategy. It's called leveling. Now, this is a strategy that up until about 4 months ago was exclusive to Market Trader Institute students. Now, you guys wouldn't be able to get access to this. You wouldn't even be able to hear about this if you weren't a Market Trader Institute student, which means you would have had to go through, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 worth of education. You would have had to go through weeks and weeks worth of training, which is all really good stuff. But you would have had to go through all of that just to hear and just to see what you're going to see today. But because of the success of our students, Joshua Martinez launched this and actually allowed 50 students, non-Market Trader Institute students, to be mentored under him about 3 months ago. And he was doing it kind of as a test. And he was basically doing it as a test to see, can we take brand new students, can he take brand new students and get them very successful in a fast way using this leveling program. And he knew what the answer was going to be. Like, he was extremely confident. He knew there's no doubt we can do it. And I'm proud to say that the success rate is just absolutely amazing. And so what we're going to go through today is we're going to find trades. We're going to go into the markets and we're going to find trades for next week using the leveling technique. And this is going to be a technique that I have 6 people in here, 6, 7 people in here will be able to get the opportunity to actually get this strategy in their hands by the time we're done today, which is going to be huge. So why would you want to listen to this? I think it's important for me to answer questions. I like to put myself in your guys' shoes and hopefully think the way that you'd be thinking. A couple things that I'd be thinking is, well, okay, so Tyson, you're saying you're good. You're saying you have something that you want to show us, opportunities. Well, why would we even want to listen to what you're going to tell us? Well, the reason you'd want to listen to what I'm going to show you today, the trades that we're going to be setting up today, is because the strategy we're going to be using to find those trades is the same exact strategy that Joshua Martinez used to generate 38,000 pips last year. Now, I want to just stop for a second. Type in me, M-E, in the question section if you know what a pip is, and type in a no, N-O, if you don't. Now, I'm going to go through the details of this and make sure everybody's up to date, but I just want to make sure and just get an idea of the group we have in here. Roger knows, Joe knows, William knows, Jamie. Okay, there's a couple of you that don't. That's fine. And it's okay. If you don't know what a pip is, if you're not quite familiar with what a pip is, that's okay. Just real quick, if you were to trade with Josh, let's say that you traded with Josh and you spent all last year. This is 2016. He took 810 trades. That's a lot of trades, right? I mean, obviously he was very active. And I'm going to have you guys set proper expectations too. I'm going to give you guys a blueprint of what your expectations should be. I think it's important to say, okay, well, if I do this strategy, well, what are my expectations going forward? Well, here's what Josh did. He produced and traded 810 times last year. Out of those 810 trades, 76% were profitable. Now, I can just stop right there and say somebody's 76% profitable, and that right there just blows me away. I mean, I've been doing this for 17 years, and to see somebody who's made money 76% of the time on 810 trades is amazing. That by itself is amazing. But what's even better is the fact that he generated 38,000 pips. 38,000 pips. Now, again, if you don't know, a lot of you know what a pip is, but if you don't, that means this. If you would have taken each one of these trades with an average investment of $2,000, right? $2,000 average investment on each one of these trades, you would have generated $380,000. Yes, $380K on a $2,000 investment. That is unbelievable. Let's say you did a $200 investment. That'd be $38,000. Now you think about the return on that investment. It's unbelievable. But here's the thing. We're going to show you this process. I'm going to go through step by step. But I'd be absolutely foolish if I didn't tell you there are some pitfalls, some hurdles that traders worldwide that they go through. And hopefully I help you avoid those hurdles. I'm going to give you some blueprints and some advice on avoiding some of the hurdles. One of the main hurdles that traders go through is a lot of traders try to force the market to move in the direction they want it to move in. I hate to say this, but one of the best things you can do as a trader is get to a point to understand that the market doesn't care what you think it should do. I have been humbled many, many times by the market because I sometimes can have a lot of opinions. You know, my colleagues and those people that know me know, like Tyson can be opinionated. And in a lot of times those opinions are based on, history and based on some facts and stuff like that. But the market doesn't care what I think. So what we need to do, and the most profitable thing I've ever done, is to forget what I think and trade only what actually is happening. And what I mean by that is trade only what if I need to trade in the direction the market wants to move in, not the direction that I want the market to move in. It's very, very important to understand. And I'm going to show you a tool today. It's called the FX Finder. It's an indicator that 6 of you in here are going to be able to walk away with. And this FX Finder, if all you did was follow this for the rest of your trading career, I am very confident that you would generate a phenomenal amount of income for you and your family. So again, very important to understand, you have to get to a point of wanting what the market wants. Understanding that this is a business, it's a formula. We believe steadfast in the fact that this is a business that anybody can be successful in, much like these students here. This is just a glimpse of the students that we get testimonials from. We actually get these kind of testimonials time after time after time, almost daily. We get testimonials like this. We have students all over the world, thousands of students, and this is just a snapshot of some of the testimonials that came in over the last week or so. And what I want you to do is I want you to understand that for me, I'm not a huge fan of showing, a ton of testimonials and doing this rah-rah. I'm not a big rah-rah guy. But what I want to show you is the facts. And what I want you to do is I want you to realize that this is not about me patting myself on the back or me patting or saying our students are amazing, which they are. But what it's more about is it's about you understanding that your name should be here. This should be you. What I want you to do is I want you to imagine you being able to type your name in there and saying I'm up 850 pips for the week. Saying I made 3,297 pips for the month. Type in a wire yes if you think that would be absolutely amazing to have a 3,200 pip month. What would it be like if you generated 33,000 pips, $1,000 for you and your family? I'm telling you right now, the first week, if you ever experience a 500, 1,000, 2,000 pip week, I'm telling you right now, you're going to be off to the races and your life will never be the same. But very important also, very important point. I've known many, many, many wannabe traders that can have a successful day, even a successful week. But it has to be built off of a foundation and a formula that can be repeated many times over time. It cannot be based on fantasy. It cannot be based on luck. If we are successful based on luck and based on something that we cannot duplicate time in and time out, going forward for the rest of our lives, then really we have nothing. We need to have something that we can duplicate for starting now and use for the rest of our lives, because then it's life-changing. And that's what the leveling course is. This is Joshua Martinez. I'm not sure if anybody in here knows him. I'm sure a lot of you do. But if you don't, let me introduce him. Joshua Martinez is easily one of the top 5 traders in the entire world. Currency traders in the entire world. And I've been around my fair share of very, very successful traders. And Joshua Martinez, I am absolutely honored to call him one of my colleagues, and I'm absolutely honored to trade right next to him. Because as a 17-year trading veteran myself, what I look for now is I look for ways to give myself a raise, right? Because I trade full-time from my house in Minnesota. I am a breadwinner for my wife and my family. This is how we generate our income. We trade. I trade. And for me, it's about how can I give myself, how can I make my time better used to generate more income? And I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt in my mind, Joshua Martinez has given me more time to spend with my wife and my kids and my niece because of the leveling course, and he's given me a raise, a substantial raise. In fact, 2016 was one of my greatest trading years that I've ever had because of Market Traders Institute, and a lot of that credit goes to Joshua Martinez because of the leveling course. And Josh, the great thing about Josh is that he took a $500 account. He's been trading for I think right around 9 years. And he didn't start with millions and millions of dollars. This is important to understand because some people get intimidated by the markets, right? Some people are of this belief that you need to have thousands and thousands of dollars or tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars to actually trade and invest. No, that's false. It's not true. In fact, in the currency markets, you can start with, very little down. There's students that I know of, personally know of, that have started with $100, sometimes less. And Josh started with he started his trading career with $500. That's how he started his business and trading, $500. And what happened was he utilized a formula. He perfected a formula, the formula I'm going to show you today. And he turned a $500 account into $39,000 in a year and a half. Now, the brilliant part about that, some of you might be saying, well, $39,000 is not that much money. For some of you, that might be a lot of money. For some of you, that might be like nothing. Well, that's not the point. My point is he started with a very little, and he turned it into a decent chunk. If this isn't a lot of money to you, $39,000 or $500, well, then imagine starting with $50,000. That would have been turning $50,000 into $3.9 million. How about that? Oh, those numbers are pretty big, right? So put it in perspective. This is amazing. What should show you is that Josh started small. And what he did is, yes, he is the son of Jared Martinez, who is the owner and the founder of Market Traders Institute. So he obviously started with a little bit of an advantage, but he didn't start with thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars in his pocket. No, he started with the desire, and then he learned the formulas. And it's the same formulas that I'm going to show you today, and that Joshua Martinez is going to hold your hand, walk with you, and trade with you for the next 6 months. The next 6 months, I'm going to allow you guys to trade with Josh 3 times a week. It's going to be awesome. Josh has been featured in many, many publications, really throughout the entire world. This is just a snapshot of some of the places that he's been featured in. He's been published and a part of a lot of Trader Planet books. He's been in Forex Crunch, Equities.com, Your Trading Edge, just all over the place. And he's actually one of the main reasons why our students are doing so well. In fact, one of the biggest things that I'm most proud of to be with Market Traders Institute, we're going to dive into the markets here in a second, but I want to really make sure that this is clear. Over the last 100 days, so we use what's called ultimate charting software. Let me give you a glimpse of this. This is the ultimate charting software right here. And there's a group of you in here that are going to be able to get this today in your hands. And I'm going to set up some trades, and I'm going to share those trades with you guys. But this is the ultimate charting software, and this is the software that we've developed at Market Traders Institute. And through this, we have the ability to, traders have the ability to connect their accounts with whatever broker they use, whether it's, Forex.com, FXCM, or ANDA, whatever it might be, you can connect your accounts to this software. And so what we've done is any student that connects their accounts to our software, we're able to kind of track how they're doing, right? Are they making money, losing money? Because 95% of those students obviously are educated by us. They're Market Trader Institute students. They've learned these programs. A lot of them have learned leveling. And over the last 100 days, our students in real money trading accounts have generated 266,000 pips. What? Now, if you stop and think about what that means that if our students are trading an average of a standard lot, of an average of a $10 per pip lot, which a lot of our students do, that means that our students over the last 100 days have generated $2.7 million. Now, here is a very simple, maybe even a dumb question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Let's use a little bit of forecasting, right? Let's put on our thinking caps and forecast the next 100 days. Which, by the way, the volatility over the next 100 days is going to be huge. We expect the markets to move big. And I'll show you some of that movement that we expect in a little bit here. But over the next 100 days, if we generate, let's say we generate 350,000 pips over the next 100 days. How many of you believe and would like, how many of you would like to be able to get a chunk of that $3.5 million of profits that's going to be generated by Market Trader Institute students over the next 100 days? Every single person in here deserves to get a chunk of that. Now, the difference is some of you are going to make a decision to get a chunk of it. Some of you are going to sit on your hands and say, I don't know. I'm telling you right now, there is a large group of people that are making a tremendous amount of money in this business. And a lot of those are from Market Traders Institute because they've learned the formulas. Now, it's very easy to understand why, because we teach what's called a system. And what I mean by system is an acronym of a system, right? We teach a formula that ultimately is going to help you save yourself stress, time, energy, and money. Now, if you have been doing this business before, if you've been a trader before, then you know that there are times in this business where it can be super stressful. It will take all of your time, suck all of your energy, and absolutely deplete your accounts. But if you know there's a formula, if you follow a formula, we can help you save all the money. We can help you save the stress. And our students understand that. Now, I don't make a whole lot of promises, but I'm going to promise this one thing. And then we're going to dive into the charts. My promise is this: by the end of this presentation, my piece, you're going to understand the currency markets. You're going to understand the power of the currency markets. And by the end of this, I'm going to make two promises, or two goals with this, to answer the two main questions, which is, are there people making money in this business? And the answer is, yes, 100%. I am one of them that makes a lot of money. Joshua Martinez, and not just us, not just the professionals at Market Traders Institute, but thousands and thousands of our students. So yes, the number two question is even more important. If people are making money in this business, then is this a skill that can be taught? What I mean by that is if Joshua Martinez knows a secret formula, a formula of success of generated income, is that a formula that he can teach you and that you can master? Because if it is, then all of your other financial worries, your stresses, anything you have to do with financially speaking in this world, it should all be able to be taken care of. Now, I'll say this: if you learn how to master the markets and you learn how to trade successfully, and that's all we do at Market Traders Institute, is we teach people how to trade successfully. And we do it with them. If you learn how to do this business, then everything else, financially speaking, is taken care of. Now, I know we live in a world that's full of stress. I know we live in a world that's trust me, I have two sons. I have a 13-year-old and a 15-year-old. So I understand stress. I understand life can be, life can throw curveballs at you. Life can be a little stressful, right? There's a lot going on. You turn on talk radio, you turn on the news networks and different things like that, and you got all kinds of craziness going on, right? There's a whole lot to stress about. But here's the deal. How nice would it be to learn a skill where you don't have the stress about finances, right? Yeah, there's other things we can stress about. There's, maybe we stress about politics. Maybe we stress about health or relationships. But type in me, M-E, in the question section if you would like to learn a skill where you could eliminate all the other stresses in life where you wouldn't have to have the financial stress anymore. There is no more financial stress because you know you're going to be able to generate income. That's what we do. That's what we teach at Market Traders Institute. We teach people how to be financially free. And to have financial freedom is one of the greatest gifts that anybody can have, because here's the deal. Life is stressful. We're going to go through health issues. We're going to go through relationship issues. We're going to go through things that we're going to go through, have curveballs thrown at us in life that we can't expect. It just happens. That's life. But when there's curveballs thrown at me, when my wife goes through a little bit of a health scare, last year she went through a fairly major health scare. When that happens, it's really, really nice for me to be able to focus on my wife and love my family rather than focus on and stress about the finances. It's really nice. And that's one of the greatest gifts that I can help you guys get. And hopefully by the end of this webinar, you realize that you can do this. And this is a skill that will help you not have to sit there and stress every day about finances. This can really help you get the freedom that you're looking for. Okay, so let's dive into the markets. All right, so we have a big group in here. I want to get to know you guys a little better. So on a scale of 1 to 10, let's say 10 being you're like a master trader, you're the greatest trader and investor there ever was out there, and 1 being you're brand new, you know nothing. Where would you consider yourself on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 being you're a master, 1 being you know nothing, and anywhere in between. And I want everybody to answer this. Now, it doesn't matter. I don't want you to be ashamed or feel bad if you're a 1. It's okay. And in fact, a lot of times, I'd rather work with people with lower numbers, because people with higher numbers, a lot of times, honestly, have they have a lot of baggage, right? They have a lot of bad habits that they should probably unlearn. A lot of people that consider themselves a 6 or 7 or 8, maybe 8s are doing really well, but the higher you consider yourself, if you're not really performing the way that you need to perform, then a lot of times it's because you are in bad habits, and you might know it. You have bad habits that you want to overcome. So we've got a fairly decent decent group in here that's pretty knowledgeable. That's awesome. So my next question is, and we've got some newer people. That's great too. My next question then would be this: for you that have been trading for, let's say, longer than 6 months, or know the market's decent, what are some of the things you're struggling with? Is it the emotional side of the business? Is it consistency? Is it a formula? Where are the struggles? Right now, look, we have a couple of you typing in. Listen, I need consistent results, consistency, and yeah, that's it. That's a big one. Consistency and emotions. Marco says lack of strategy. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna dive in here, and I'm gonna give you guys the tale of two traders, right? This is going to be a tale of 2 traders, and then I'm going to show you the way that I learned how to trade, and I'm going to show you, because of the advances of technology, the way that we teach people now and how it's literally changed lives. Okay, and then I have 6 people in here. We have a large group, and I have opportunity for 6 of you to be able to get this in your hands today. Start trading with Josh. It's going to be great. So, first of all, this is a chart. It's a 1-hour chart, and these are candlesticks. Each one of these bars represents an hour of time frame, right? So the market's not open right now. It'll open tomorrow, Sunday, at 5 p.m. Eastern. The currency markets will open. It'll stay open 24 hours a day, all the way until Friday at 5 p.m. So the nice thing is the currency markets is opened for an extended period of time. So if you have a busy schedule, it allows you to still participate in the markets. So what trading and investing in the currency markets, really in any market, is a zero-sum game. That means this. It means that if let's say I bought down here, let's say I buy right here, and then I sell right here, right? If I took that trade, and let's say this trade made 350 pips. So 350 pips. Well, I could have taken this trade down here, and I could have taken it with $20. I could have invested in this trade with $20, a $20 investment, and that $20 investment would have produced on 350 pips profit, would have made $35 in profits. So that's awesome, right? I mean, you think about that, that tells you, hopefully that it inspires you and makes you realize that you can start with a small amount of money, a $20 investment, which is called a micro investment. You could have essentially turned $20 and made a $35 profit. And when I sold that, let's say I bought it here, sold it here. When I sold that, I got my investment of $20 back plus the profit of $35. So overall, I turned $20 into $55, right? So that's really awesome. So again, I wanted to show you that simply to show you that you don't need to start with a lot of money. Now, there's something that's called, what you do is you progress in your sizing as you start to trade successfully. Now, a lot of you may not even have, you may not have much experience in this. This is kind of the progression of a trader. I want to just show you, and then we're going to go into some of the strategies. This is what's called a micro lot. Once you start to get comfortable in the markets, you go from a micro lot, you start to increase your size, right? Because your account starts to grow and you start to increase your size. So as you increase your size, you go from what's called a micro lot to a mini lot. And it's the same exact trade. It's important to understand you're trading, you're taking the same trade, it's the same trade down here, and you close up here. But instead of a $20 investment, you would need $200. But the same 350 pips would now produce $350. So this moves at 10 cents per pip. This moves at $1 per pip. So when you close the trade, you would get your $200 back. You would produce $350 in profits. And so overall, you turn $200 into $550. Now we have a lot of students that are able to find, let's say they find 10 trades like this a month. 10 trades a month, which again, Josh took 810 trades last year. So what if you were able to find 10 trades that produced 350 pips on a monthly basis, and you made an extra $3,500 on an annual? You made an extra $3,500 per month. So you made over $40,000 of extra income per month. That can happen. It can happen trading a mini lot, right? And as you progress, again, there's one more step here. As you progress, there's something that's called a standard lot. Now, my goal and our goal is to get everybody comfortable and get to a point where you're comfortable trading a standard lot. Because once you start trading a standard lot, now this is where it becomes life-changing. Not to say that it can't be life-changing at a mini lot, but this is when it becomes where you stop working for your money and you let your money start working for you, right? I mean, this is when it becomes really life-changing. So that same 350 pips, now you do a $2,000 investment down here, but that same 350 pips generated a $3,500 profit because it's $10 per pip. So now when you close this trade out, you get your $2,000 plus your 3,500 pips that you get back, and overall you turn $2,000 into $5,500. Now imagine, this trade here was a trade that took, let's do the math here. This trade took 2 days. 2 days, from the 7th to the 9th. Type in me in the question section, and I would hope that every single person in here would type in me in the question section if you would have liked to make $3,500 in 2 days on a $2,000 investment. Yeah, yep. Well, somebody did. It's important to understand that somebody took this trade down here, right? And the thing that I always tell students, I tell this to students all the time, it's so important to have this mentality. You need to understand that if somebody is making money, if somebody made 3,500 pips or 350 pips or $3,500 here, if somebody did it, then you need to do it, because this is a level playing field. The only difference between the people that make money and the people that don't is access to education, access to tools. Well, you guys at the end of this are going to have access to the education and access to tools. So this same trade down here, whether you traded it with a micro lot, mini, or standard, it was the same exact trade, whether you had a large account or a small account. And even before you start placing real money trades, a lot of students starting what's called a demo account. And in fact, this is kind of where I would suggest a lot of you are going to decide to move forward. There's going to be 6 of you that are going to be able to get this in your hands today. And what I would suggest is when you start the class starts on Monday. When you decide to go into the class, start with a demo, and we can actually help you set this up. You can start trading directly from this workspace. And you're going to look at the real markets. You're going to see you'll be trading live markets, but you'll be trading with fake money in a demo account. And what that'll do is that'll get you comfortable with the strategies. So you go from a demo to a micro. Then you trade on a micro for a few weeks, few months until you get comfortable, and then you go from a micro as your account grows to a mini. And then you start to get comfortable and you go from a mini to a standard. Once you get to a standard, that's when your life starts to that's when this becomes bigger and better than you could ever imagine. That's when this business starts to change your life in ways that maybe you've never even dreamed of. So again, very, very important to understand, very powerful strategies that I'm going to show you now. It's also important to understand that if I bought down here, right? We just went through an example of I bought down here and then I sold up here as a hypothetical example. So it's important to know that if I bought down here, that money, somebody had to sell that to me, right? That wasn't just automatically, it wasn't just created out of thin air. That's not the way this market works. Somebody has to sell it. It's called a free market. So somebody has to sell that to me. So what that means is because this is a zero-sum game, if I bought, somebody sold, that means somebody lost 350 pips. Whoa. So if I got this wrong, then I lost $35. I lost $350. I lost $3,500. So it's so important to make sure you understand how to trade like the professionals and trade in the direction that the market really wants to move. So vitally important. So let's do this. I'm going to go through, I'm going to show you a tale of two traders. Okay? Tale of two traders. And I guess before I do, the question I have for you guys is this. If you were coming to the markets, let's say these were your charts, right? And you first came to the markets and you were looking at your charts. What is the first most important thing you need to do when you look at your charts? What's the first thing you need to do? Type in the answer if you think you know it. What is the first thing we need to do? There's a step, there's a formula that we need to go through. And the first thing we need to do, before we do anything else, it's even more important than equity management. It's even more important than understanding where you're going to enter. Before you do anything, you have to know, all of you guys, a lot of you typing this in, you have to understand direction. Which way is the market moving? Which way is the market moving? And Joe says support and resistance. Even before that, you have to understand direction. So the number one thing we need to do is we need to have a plan of attack to figure out which direction are we going to trade in. And I'm going to show you why direction is so vitally important, and I think overall this will make sense. So what I'm going to show you is an entry strategy, right? I'm going to show you an entry strategy that is called a counter trend, or it's called a trend line break. And a trend line break looks like this. Let's say price is moving up like this. Let's say price is moving up like this, and we decide now price is moving up. We decide price is moving up. We then bring in what's called a counter trend like this, counter trend line. And what we want to do is we want to buy when price is able to break and close above that. So upward move, break and close above that counter trend line. That's what I'm going to show you, okay? And so that's what we're going to use as our entry technique, which, by the way, entry is the number 2 thing. So direction is number 1, number 2 is entry. And number 3 is manage risk. Those are the 3 things that we need to accomplish before we take any trades. We need to get direction, entry, and manage risk. Now I'm going to show you an example of what if we skip one of them. What if we skip direction? And I want you guys to understand by the end of this why direction is so vitally important. I'm going to show you a tool that finds direction, the way that the real market, the professionals are moving in, better than anything I've ever seen. So let's say that we use an entry, we use a trend line break as our entry, right? Let's just say that. And then let's say for risk management, for this example, we're going to use risk $1 to make $2. So that's good. That's great, right? We're gonna risk $1 and go after $2. So we've got good risk management. We enter on a trend line break, which is a great way to trade. But we forget. Let's say that we forget direction. We don't do direction, right? Let's just hypothetically say that we just trade trend line breaks. Okay, so trader number one, as an example. Let me zoom in. I'm going to zoom into this downward move right here. We're going to keep this in mind. Let's say trader number one used trend line breaks and decided that they were going to enter. Here's a trend line, right? The reason why this is a trend line is price had a tendency to bounce off of this, right? It was moved up, bounced off, and then once it was able to break and close below, we entered right here, right? So if we did that, this trade here would have produced, we'll say we're going to go after 100 pips. Let's say risk 50. We'll say this, risk 50 pips to make 100 pips. Let's just make it easier like that. So risk 50 to make 100 pips. So that's 2 to 1. Okay, so right here we would have entered, right? We had a counter move. We would have entered here. So let's say we put our stop above here. We risked 50 pips and to make 100 pips. Well, we never would have rallied up to take a stop, so this trade would have produced plus 100 pips, right? Plus 100. It's excellent. Then let's say that we, as a trader, we brought in another counter trend right here. And we shorted on a break and a close below there. We would have made another 100 pips, right? Because price never would have, we would have shorted here, it would have never rallied up and hit our stop. We would have easily went and probably hit a 100 pip target. So that would have been $1,000 on a standard lot here, $1,000 on a standard lot here, right? So then we rinse, we wash, we repeat, we do the same things over and over and over. And we keep doing this. We keep doing this. And so this whole time, let's just hypothetically say that all of these trades we would have shorted here, 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 and here. These are all these are all trend line break moves, right? And all of these trades, this trade here, let's see, we would have gotten 100 pips here, so plus 100 there. This trade right here, we probably would have lost. This trade, we would have lost 100 or 50 pips, so negative 50 pips here. This trade here, we would have made 100 pips, plus 100 pips there. This trade here, we would have made plus 100 pips, because obviously we would have gotten in here, never would have went up and taken a stop there. And this trade here, right here, we would have made 100 pips also. So looking at just this example, right? Looking at this example, is it fair to assume that if we would have taken all of these trades, just these trades, is it fair to assume that we would have done pretty well? We would have made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 600 pips. We would have lost 50 pips, so we probably would have been up overall plus 550 pips. Type in a wire yes in the question section if you agree that if you would have taken all those trades, we would have been up 550 pips. If we would have used trend line breaks as our entry, risked 50 pips to make 100 pips. The only trade we would have lost on was this one, right? We would have gotten in here, we would have lost in this trade. But all these other trades we would have profited from. You guys agree with that? I just want to make sure everybody understands and agrees. Because it's true. It's 100% true. Right? Okay, this is trader number one. This is trader number one. Now, what I said we're going to enter on trendline breaks. And you might be wondering, Well, Tyson, you didn't show us the full picture, right? I mean, you're just showing us half truth. This is a half truth, which I'm not a fan of half truths. I'm a fan of absolute truth. It's a half truth because, yeah, Tyson, okay, great. I see what you said is true. I see it. But there's a big problem with your whole assumption, Tyson. And that problem is you said you were going to enter on trendline breaks. That's what you said. So, yeah, you would have entered on all these moves down, but if you're going to enter on trendline breaks, Tyson, and so this is the exact same chart, so this is the pound yen in the exact same time frame, right? And the question is that I'd be asking is, come on, dude, don't tell me half truths. If you're entering, right, we're forgetting direction. If you're entering on trendline breaks, then why in the world did you not count this? Why in the world did you not count this? Why in the world did you not count this? And this? And this? And this right here? Or this? Because what I mean is this. These are all counter trendline moves, right? All these right here. Those are all counter trendline breaks. So if we're just going to enter on counter trend lines, then why wouldn't I count these as longs, right? Because that's all we did over here. We entered short counter trend lines. Tyson, you can't tell us half truths. You would have entered at all of these also right here. All of these examples would have been trend line breaks where you should have been buying. Type in a wire yes if you agree. If we're entering trend line breaks, we should have been buying here. We should have been buying here, 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 here. All of these, right? Now we've got the complete picture. Right? This is a half truth. This is a bunch of BS, half truth like Tyson. Come on, dude. You can't tell us, you can't show us half the picture. You can't. Because if you're going to enter using trendline breaks, which is a great entry technique, but if you're going to do that, you've got to show us everything, dude. Well, okay, you're right. Dang it. Okay. So how would this guy do? Let's say that both of these traders, let's say this trader overall, only shorted, made 550 pips on the short side. Used the trend line breaks, used 50 pips worth of risk, 100 pips worth of reward. So how would this guy do? Well, let's see. You would have entered here, never got 100 pips, so therefore you know this one would have lost 50 pips, negative 50, his first trade. The second trade would have lost 50, negative 50. Let's see, does this third trade go up and hit a target? Nope. This third trade only went up 75 pips, so therefore we would have lost 50 on this trade, negative 50 here. We finally would have got one winner here. This would have been a winner. Yep, plus 100. So finally would have got a profit on this trade right here, 100. How about this one here? Would we have made money? Ooh, not quite. Would have been about, this one here would have lost 50. This one here would have lost 50, so negative 50 there. Negative 50 here, negative 50 here, negative 50 here, and then obviously this one would have lost too, negative 50. So now, well, that's not good. That's pretty horrible, actually. So if we would have traded trendline breaks, which are great entry techniques, this person would have lost 100, 150, negative 50, negative 100, 200, negative 300 pips. Negative 300 pips. So this person over here would have been up an overall 550 pips. This person over here would have been down 300 pips. They use the exact same entry techniques, right? Let me just ask this question. Did both of these people use the same entries? Trendline breaks? Yes or no? Yep, they did. Which is a great entry technique, by the way. It's awesome. It's an awesome trendline. It's an awesome entry technique. Okay, so both of these people used the same exact number 2. They used same entry. Number 3, same risk management, right? Because both of them risked 50 pips to make 100, so they used the same entry and the same risk management. One trader lost 300 pips, the other trader made 550 pips. The difference in this month, so if you did this for a month, this trader lost $3,000, this trader made $5,500. What's the difference? Can anybody tell me what the difference between these two traders are? It's experience, it's knowledge, it's education. It's not trading off of emotions. But you know what it is? It's understanding which way the market is truly moving, which way the market, the professionals want to move the market. There is nothing on either of these charts that tells me, you know, if I'm just looking at this chart right here, hindsight's 2022. Hindsight's 2020. So a lot of traders and a lot of students have a problem with people showing historical moves because they're like, well, obviously, Tyson, we can see everything in history, right? It's 2020. We know what already happened. So who's to say that a trader, and I guarantee you there are traders that took these trades, because we didn't know when the market was right here. You didn't know that it was going to, you know, when the market was right here, the trader that was just looking at this had no clue, you know, this looks like a good buy, had no clue it was going to continue to fall down. Or it was when it was right here. It was trading at a low price, so they thought maybe let's buy it. So there's nothing on this chart that would have stopped the trader from potentially taking these trades, but it could have been detrimental to their account. So that leads me to something that I want to show you, and I got to be very clear on this. What I'm about ready to show you is something that if you don't do anything for the rest of your trading career, but all you do is follow what I'm going to show you right now, then you will do very well in this business. I promise that if this is all you do, then you will be able to do very well. Okay? So there is a major difference between these two. Obviously, there's a major difference in performance. But it also shows you the importance of getting direction. Now, there's nothing on these charts other than, yeah, I can see it historically that tells me I should, you know, that the price went down, so history says it went down. But even before it happened, what could have told us to not buy? Obviously, we shouldn't have been buying any of these opportunities here. Is there something that could have stopped us from buying? Yes. What if I had access to an indicator and all I had to do is, when it was red, that equaled to sell. That meant you need to sell. When it's green, that meant you need to buy. What if I had access to something like that? And what if I realized that this entire move down, the indicator was red, so therefore I wouldn't have taken any of these trades? Well, let's see what that looks like. It's called the FX Finder. And this right here, again, is one of the things I would almost call it as close to the holy grail of trading that you can possibly get. So watch this. Now let me ask you a question. If this is the rule right here, right there, if the FX Finder is red, you do not buy. If the FX Finder is green, you do not sell. Yes or no, would you have taken any of these longs right here? Yes or no? No. You would have taken none of those losses. You would have taken literally none of those losses at all. Somebody bought here. Somebody bought here, bought here, bought. There's a trader out there. There's traders out there that tried to buy this because they had no clue which direction the market was really moving in. And so you could be a trader that has, you know, a very sound, good entry technique. You could be a trader that has a very good risk management technique. Risking 50 pips to make 100 pips is good. Doing trend line breaks is a good entry technique. But if you get direction wrong, you lose 300 pips. And if you get direction right, you make 550 pips. Are you guys following what I'm showing? Is this making some sense? And are you understanding why this trader here would have only shorted and why this trader here shouldn't have taken any of these buys? Type in a ME if you're following. Now, I'm telling you, this scenario that I've just painted out is an ever so true scenario. This is something that happens constantly. This is a business riddled full of traders that wanted to make money, thought they could make money, but consistently traded in the wrong direction. And those are traders, unfortunately, that consistently donate their money to me, to Josh, and to thousands and thousands of our students. And I'm not in the business of taking money from students, but you know what, our traders. But here's the problem. Here's the reason why I do this business. I am a very devout man of faith. And I've struggled sometimes, as a man of faith, I've struggled sometimes knowing that if I win, somebody loses, right? So sometimes I had this internal struggle of like, how can I even do this? Because if I make a lot of money, then somebody else lost money. So how can I live with myself? And here's how I justify it. I justify it by allowing people to understand what I do, giving you the opportunity to trade the exact way that I do. So hopefully you can make money too. That's how I justify it. And you can either trust what I'm saying or not trust what I'm saying. But I can tell you this right now. We are a group of traders that make money. Market Traders Institute, we're going to make money. And that means that there's going to be people out there that are donating their money to us because for every winner, there has to be a loser. Now, I want you guys, hopefully by the end of this, to join the winning team. We are the Patriots of the currency markets. That's what we are. We win. We find ways to win. Because we know how to trade like professionals. And you may not think that this scenario is a true scenario. It is absolute truth. There is somebody that traded like this all the way down that was simply, literally taking loss after loss after loss after loss and probably ended up blowing their account up and being out of this business. Whereas this person over here knew what they were doing. They were trading only in the direction of the FX Finder because that is telling you which way professional money is actually trading. So, okay, so which one do you want to spend more time on? Do you want to spend more time on being the loser trader or the winner trader? Obviously the winner trader. So does everybody now understand the importance of direction? Before I show you the ins and outs of this strategy, does everybody now type in a Y or a yes in the question section? And I want everybody more than Joe and Robert and John. Thank you guys for participating. But I want everybody in there. Hopefully everybody's still awake, right? It's Saturday. Hopefully you got coffee in you. You're awake. Does everybody understand now you got to get direction? You could be a good risk manager. You could be good at entering. But if you don't get direction, you will be a loser. I don't want anybody in here to lose money. I want all of you in here to win, to make money, to accomplish your financial dreams, your goals. Another reason why I do this, another reason why, as a man of faith, and I wear my faith on my sleeve, and I don't push it on anybody, but it is who I am. Another reason I do this, and I want to make sure that this is very clear, is because I've met a lot of students. I've met thousands and thousands of traders, of people who want to do this. And I would say 99.999% of those people are great people. And I have to assume that everybody in here are great people. They're great people with very kind hearts, with hearts that they want to give. They want to go out. They want to help their families. They want to help their friends. They want to give to charities. They don't want to learn how to trade and invest for selfish reasons. They want to learn how to trade and invest because they believe in freedom. They're concerned about what we're doing as a world as far as debt goes. They're concerned with certain things, and they want to be free. They want to have the ability to generate income themselves so they can help themselves, their families, their friends, and do more good in the world. And that's important to me because I believe the more people we teach how to trade and invest successfully, the more good we can do in this world. Now, that might seem a little rosy, but that's the truth. So I hope by the time we're done with this webinar, I've got 6 people in here that are going to believe what I'm saying, trust in what I'm saying, and say, I got to be on the winning team. This is like Bill Belichick calling you up and saying, hey, you're a football player? Come on to the Patriots because we win. Well, Market Traders Institute, we win. So let's do this. If all you have to do, I'm going to show you the formula. There's 3 strategies when it comes to leveling, okay? 3 strategies. And these 3 strategies, what I just showed you was an income strategy, right? The income strategy is for somebody who has time to be in front of their charts, right? You have time to be in front of your charts. You have time to trade. It's kind of trading for a living, right? And being able to generate the income that you want to for you and your family. The income strategy is awesome. Now, not everybody in here can trade the income strategy because not everybody in here has enough time to spend in front of their chart. So I'm going to show you 2 of the 3. I'm going to show you, number 1, income, and number 2, wealth. So there's also a third strategy that I'm going to say for the class. Now, the class is on Monday, on the 13th, and I've got 6 spots. 6 people in here are going to be able to go into the class. What I'm going to do for 6 of you, I'm going to give you access to this strategy, to the software. I'm also going to do this risk-free. I'm going to take on all the risk, meaning you're going to be blown away, you're going to pay us nothing, and I'm going to allow you to trade, right? Trade with Joshua Martinez 3 times a week, 2 hours at a time, absolutely as a bonus. For 6 months, not for 1 week or 2 weeks or for a couple times. No, 6 full months of trading with Josh. It's huge. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Let's go through the income strategy first. And so here's the way we do this. To get direction for leveling students, we trade only with the FX trade in the direction of the FX finder, which means red equals sell, green equals buy. Then we're going to enter on trend line breaks. We're going to use that entry as trend line breaks, and then we're going to manage risk. We're going to risk for every $1 we're looking to risk, we're going to look to make $2. Now I'm going to show you this. Risk $1 to make $2. Or for every 1 pip we risk, we need to try to make 2 pips, right? Type in the wire, yes, if that makes sense. Right? Okay, so let's look at the current market, and I want to show you the current market environment and what we'd be doing. And I want to also show you and prove to you that you guys know much more than you maybe think you know at this time right now. So right now, and I'm going to go through this kind of quick, but right now, I want everybody in here to answer the questions. If we're only trading in the direction of the arrows, do we need to be a buyer? Type in a B for buy or an S for sell right now. What are we doing? If this is the current market, when the market opens up next week, what do we need to do? B for buy, S for sell. We need to buy, right? Okay, perfect. Okay, so we've answered question number 1. We need to buy. Now, question number 2, how do we enter? Well, Josh is going to teach you how to do this on what's called a line chart, but I'm just going to show you real fast. What we would do is Josh will teach you how to bring in what's called a hand-drawn trend line. This is a hand-drawn trend line. We've got a downward move each time price has kind of bounced off of this trend line multiple times. You can see bounce, 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 and it has very difficult time. It's had a very difficult time breaking through that level. So we know we need to be a buyer, but what we're going to do is this. We're going to enter once price is able to break and close above. So we want to break and close above this trend line. We want to enter. We want to then put our stop 10 pips below the previous U-turn low. So this is a U-turn low down here. I'm going to go 10 pips below this, so I'm going to say my stop is going to be at 140.90. It's going to be my stop. Type in a wire yes if this is making sense so far. We know we need to buy. This is a downtrending move, short-term downtrending move. We want to buy on a break and a close above that move. That shows that there's a shift higher, right? That's our entry. When we enter, we want to put our stop 10 pips below the prior U-turn low, which would be right around 40.90, and then our target's going to be 2 times our risk. So we could project what our target's going to be. Our risk is going to be right around 60, we'll say 62.5 pips, so we'll say our target is going to be 125 pips higher. So our target's going to be up here to about 42.75. So 42.75. So our trade would be this. Buy on a trend line break and close bullish. So up. Target 142.75. Stop 140.90. There's our trade. Now, why in the world would I want to take this trade? Why would I want to take this trade? Well, because what I want to do is I want to show you, what if you would have taken this trade historically? What if you would have taken the same exact trade in the recent history or even longer term history? Well, right here, we have a counter trend move. If you would have went long on a break and a close above this counter trend line, you would have placed your stop below this low right here, and you would have targeted 2 times your risk. This trade would have risked right around 75 pips, and your target would have been about 150 pips. Type in a wire yes if you see that this trade right here would have produced 150 pips last week, and you would have basically made 150 pips, which is $1,500 of income in a day and a half. So, $1,500 income in 1.5 days. How is that for a day and a half's worth of work? Pushing the button 1 time. It's the same exact setup, right? FX Finder is green. We get a counter trend move. We break and close above the counter trend line. Put our stop down here, target. Are we doing the same exact, on this 150 pip move target, are we doing the same exact things on this new trade that's going to set up next week? Yes. So what is the expectations on this trade for next week? The expectations are to make 125 pips in a matter of a day or a day and a half on our first trade. Now, what if, let's just play hypothetical here. What if you can find, 5 trades like this? Let's say 4 trades like this per week, which you can, trust me. Well, 4 trades per week, let's say an average of 4 weeks per month. That's 16 trades, right? So let's say you find 16 trades per month, 16 trades per month. And let's say a lot of those trades are similar to this right here, right? Because the last one was very similar. Let's say, remember, Josh wins, he wins at 70%. 70% of his trades he wins. So 70% win, 30% lose. That means on his winners, how many does he win? Let's see, what's 70% of 16? Let me bust out a calculator here, just get the numbers right, right? Let's say he wins 11 times 11 winners for the month, and that means that there's 5 losers for the month. Well, as an example on this trade, the losers, let's say you lose average of 65 pips per loser. So we're going to say, yeah, because of this example, we're going to risk about 65 pips. So each loser is an average of 65 pips, right? That means that we're losing 65 pips 5 times. What's that? 65 times 5. So we lose on average of 325 pips on our losers. And let's say our winners, we average, how much? 125 per winner over 11 trades. So 125 times 11, we make 1,375 pips on average on our winners. Everybody following so far? And why are these numbers actually something that you can expect to make? Because Josh took 810 trades last year. He was profitable 76% of his trades. So this is basically saying you're going to take way less trades than Josh took, and you're going to win less than Josh won. So these are 100% realistic. So if you did this, your net profitability for the month, your net profit, net pips for the month equal 1,050 pips. That's $10,500 in net income for the month on 16 trades. Type in ME if you would like to find out and find the strategy and use the strategy that can help you generate an extra $100,000 in 2017. But not just 2017. Here's the beauty. Here's what I need you guys to all understand. This is not just about setting you up to generate a 6-figure income starting now for 2016. This is for setting you up to generate a 6-figure income for the rest of your life. For the rest of your life. Every single year. Now here's the deal. I have a really large group in here. I have 6 available seats. That's it, 6. And I'm going to jump ahead of myself, and I'm going to go a little quick because I only have about 20 minutes or so. But in the essence of time, I have 6 seats. What I want to do is this. The class starts on Monday. I want to give every person in here, because we have about 150 plus people in here. If you're interested at all in trading with Josh for 6 full months, if you're interested in getting this in your hands right away, right now, and being able to test drive this thing, and in fact, I'm going to be able to give you guys a 60-day test drive absolutely risk-free. If you're interested in doing that, because I only have 6 seats, and once we're done with this, Josh isn't going to be teaching this class again until 2018. So I'm going to allow you guys, if you want to jump and have what's called first right of refusal, okay? If you want to have first right of refusal, you can type your phone number in with the word me right now. That's all I want you to do. When you type your phone number in with the word me, you're going to jump in front of the line. Now, it doesn't mean we're swiping your card, doesn't mean we're charging you. What it means is you're going to be the first people we reach out to see, and you'll be able to have a choice. Do you want to be one of the 6? Yes or no? And I'll give you all the details here in a few minutes. I'm going to give you all the details. But because we have 150 people in here, I want to give you guys the opportunity, everybody in here, the opportunity to do what's called jump in front of the line, because we have a ton of people. And these 6 spots will be gone today. This is the last opportunity. The class starts on Monday. So this is it. So there's 6 are going to be gone. I'm going to give you all the details in a little bit here, or in about 5 minutes. But if you do have a desire to get this in your hands, be able to test drive this for 60 days, risk-free, be able to trade with Josh, be able to do all this and accomplish your goals, so I'm going to make some bold statements, and really actually be able to set yourself up for a 6-figure income, I believe, for the rest of your life, just type your phone number in at the word me. You'll have what's called first right of refusal. You'll be the first people we reach out to. And then you'll be able to basically make a decision on yay or nay, or what you want to do. So, okay. So here's the thing. So that is an example of a trade that's setting up right now. And by the way, you're welcome. This trade should go a long ways in paying for the class. Right? This trade in the next day or two, within the next 2 or 3 days, you should generate about $1,200 of income. Now again, why in the world do I believe that trade is going to be a high quality trade? Well, let's go back in history and let's think about this. Let's think about this. If I were using the same exact technique of buying on trendline breaks, selling on trendline breaks, but only going in the direction of the FX Finder, we already realized how much money we would have made in this downtrend move, right? We already realized we would have made a bunch of money. And this trade here would have been more down here. So we already realized we would have generated about 550 pips on the way down. Well, what about this? What if we use that same exact technique on the upside? How much money could we have made doing this same exact thing on the upside? And then also, how much money could we have made doing the same exact thing on the downside? So imagine this. What if each one of these trades produced right around 100 pips? We already know this last trade right here produced about 150 pips. And we know these trades right here produced about 550 pips. So if these other ones, right, this one produced about 100. This one here produced about 100. This one here would have produced about 100. I'm just giving you a quick estimate here. This one here produced about 100. This one here, there's an argument to be said because we would have got chopped. This one here, we probably would have lost 50. So we would have lost 50 on that one. But then we would have made 100 on this one. We know we would have made about 150 on this one, but let's just say 100 on this one, 100 on this one. So now let's do the math. So we know this move down, we would have generated about 550 pips, but then let's add the others, right? Let's add the others. 550, 650, 750, 850, 950, lost 50, so we're up 900 now. Up 1,000, up 1,100 pips. Up 1,100 pips since when? Since December. 1,100 pips since mid-December. Now I've got a real quick question. Can you do this? Yes or no? Does this look like something you can do? If all you do, I'm telling you, if all you do for the rest of your life is trade in the direction of the FX Finder, if you use logical, systematic entries like trendline breaks, and then you risk $1 to make $2, every person in here that decides that they can do this is going to be making a tremendous amount of money, just like a lot of our students. A lot of our students. Now, here's the thing. I don't have a ton of time to go into strategy number 2, the wealth building strategy. I don't have a ton of time to go into some of the things I wanted to go into. But I do want to real quick say this. There is a wealth building strategy out there also. And if you don't have time to be in front of your computer screens all day long, then I have a question. What if all you had to do is buy and hold when it's green and sell when it's red? So from this move right here, you would have been in it for about 3 weeks and you would have made 1,200 pips. Or this move right here, you would have been in it for about a month and you would have made 850 pips. And then you would have bought here. That's the wealth building strategy. Bottom line is this. Every person needs to follow along with the FX Finder. More importantly, every person needs to follow along and trade with Joshua Martinez. And what I'm going to do is something very special. I'm going to allow every person in here, and well, I take that back. I can't allow every person in here, but I'm going to allow as many of you as I possibly can to trade with Josh for 6 full months. The students that trade with Josh have been just absolutely making a tremendous amount of money. In fact, 2 months ago, or I'm sorry, about 3-4 months ago, he decided to launch this for the first time ever to non-Market Trader Institute students. And he launched it, and he decided to let those students trade with him to get his strategies, to get his software. And those students right now are generating a tremendous amount of money. And because of that, he's decided to do it one more time. And he's going to do it one time in 2017. And that one time is on Monday. That's when the class starts, Monday. And this is going to be the last time. This is the last webinar where you guys are going to be able to get into this. And there's going to be 6 of you in here that are going to be able to start your trading career and start generating a phenomenal amount of money with Josh starting next week. I'm going to allow you guys to trade with Josh for 6 full months, 3 times a week, 6 months. Now, every single time you trade with Josh, what he's doing is he is averaging 200 pips per trading session. That means, I want you guys to understand this. That means that if you decide to go into this, if you type your phone number in with the word me, and you decide that you wanted to potentially be one of those 6 students, your expectations next week need to be minimum 600 pips. Minimum. Now here's the deal. If you went online and you did this by yourself and you went into this, you would be able to get 2 months worth of the charts, 2 months of the live sessions. Now I'm here to change lives. I'm not here to bump around. This is a very special day, and we have 6 spots remaining. I want to work with 6 students. Josh wants to work with 6 students that really want to change their lives. I'm going to do something special. Now, if you went online and tried to buy this entire package would be $3,495. And it's worth every single penny of $3,495. It's worth every penny of that. But that's not what I'm going to do. In fact, I'm going to take this and I'm going to make this the biggest no-brainer that you've ever seen. What I'm going to do is I'm going to throw in some amazing bonuses for you guys. So not only am I going to give you the FX leveling course, not only am I going to give you 2 months of the software, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make this, I'm going to put this over the top. I'm going to give you over $10,000 worth of value. As of right now, for the 6 people that type in their phone number with the word me, I'm going to do some special things. First of all, I'm going to take all the risk off of you, meaning I'm going to give you a 60-day money-back, 100% ironclad money-back guarantee. So if you walk away and you for some reason in the next 60 days and you say it's just not for me, and the class starts Monday and you trade with Josh 3 times next week, if for some reason you decide it's not for you, that's okay. That's absolutely okay. You can get your money back. But if it is, then guess what? You've learned a strategy that should go a long ways in changing your life. But here's how I'm going to make it a no-brainer. I'm going to give all of you that type in your phone number with the word me, I'm going to give you the ability to have our charts, our software, the same software you saw today. You're going to get this in your hands today. You're going to get it for free for 6 full months. That's $1,500 in value, absolutely free. But best thing I can give you, absolute best thing that I can give you is more time with Josh. So instead of just trading with him for 3 times a week and having your expectations just for, doing it for 2 months, but every single week your expectation should be to generate 500, 600 pips just with Josh every week. That's $5,000 to $6,000 on a standard lot. I'm going to let you trade with Josh for 6 full months. 6 months, 3 times a week. If all you did was follow Josh for the next 6 months, I am telling you guys, you will generate an amazing amount of money. And again, here's how I'm going to put this over the top. I am going to substantially discount all of this. You'll get the money back guarantee. You'll get the charts. You'll get it all. And I'm going to do it all at a $1,500 discount, but I can't do it for everybody. I can't do it for everybody. I can only do it for 6 people. And I know there's some of you in here that are wondering, well, geez, should I do this? And I know that there's some of you in here that are questioning, I don't know, do I have $1,995 to come up with? And I want to find a way. I want to help you overcome all the excuses, because I believe that the life of those that want to change their life, it changes when you decide to make a decision and you decide to step forward. And you decide to learn a skill that has the ability to change your life. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to give you all the resources, all the tools. And I know some of you in here are concerned possibly about paying for that. But I'm going to find a couple ways. I'm going to give you a couple gifts right now for those that type in their phone number with the word me. I'm going to give you right now my ironclad 100% money back guarantee. This means that if you type your phone number in with the word me, not only are you going to get all the bonuses of the charts, and not only are you going to get the bonus of trading with Josh for 6 full months, but I already made some bold statements. I said, listen, we are the Harvard of trading and investing in the Forex markets. Joshua Martinez has a formula. Joshua Martinez generated 38,000 pips last year. If all you do, I'm telling you, if all you do is follow Josh, if this is all you do, and let's say you typed your number in, and all you did was join Josh in his trading sessions for the next 60 days, then your expectations should be to generate 3,000 to 4,000 pips of profit over the next 60 days. Think about this. What if Josh helps you generate 4,000 pips in 60 days? Well, then that's the reason why I'm willing to give you a money-back guarantee, because if you walk away where you decide that, man, it's just not for me, or you decide maybe you can't do it, or whatever, for whatever reason, then get your money back. But if we are who we say we are, if we have the ability to do what we say we're going to do, then I'm telling you right now, your life will never be the same. You'll start generating the income that you want to generate. Now, I know there's some of you out there that maybe are a little hesitant to type your phone number in because you're concerned maybe financially. You're concerned with your finances. I want to just say, I want to talk to you guys that are maybe a little hesitant. We have ways to do this. We have scholarships. We have vouchers. We have different resources, financial resources. We have ways that we can get you into this. I always say that if there's a will to get into this, then there's a way that we can get you into this. So regardless of whether you want to do the entire thing down, which is $19.95, which is the way that I would do it, because that right there will help you save the most amount of money, doing the upfront payment. This all comes with the bonuses that I'm going to give you, the 6 months of the charts, the 6 months of trading with Josh. It comes with all of that, the guarantee. But if for some reason you can't, come up with the $19.95, that's okay. We have payment plans. Every person in here that types in their phone number, or the next 6 that type in their phone number with the word me, you're approved for financing. We're willing to work with you. Because what we don't want to do is we don't want you to come to a webinar like this and see something amazing and then just eliminate yourself because you're thinking financially you can't do it. We want to help you financially get into this. Because we know that if we can help you financially get into this, then it's just a matter of time before you become successful. And if you become successful, then that helps us grow our business even more, and that's what we love. So again, just want to make sure everybody understands, everything I'm talking about today comes with an ironclad 100% money-back guarantee. If you end up going into this program and for whatever reason, next week, imagine your week next week. Next week, you're going to be trading with Josh on Monday. You're going to be learning the strategy. You're going to get this in your hands. And then on Tuesday, you trade live with him. And then on Thursday, you trade live with him. Friday, you trade live with him. Your expectations for next week should be to generate 600 pips. 600 pips. And if for any reason within the next 60 days you're not satisfied, get your money back. I wish I could do this for everybody. I can't. I can't do it for everybody. But I can do it for the next 6 people. And I do want to thank those. And I want to encourage you too. If you haven't typed your number in with the word me, I want to encourage you to do that. And the reason why is because it doesn't mean we're swiping your credit card. It doesn't mean we're automatically charging you or you're committed to doing this. What it means is you're willing to have a conversation with us. You're willing to take a step and a leap of faith. And all you're really the commitment you're making is just to take a 60-day test drive. We will prove to you, once you allow us to prove it, we will prove to you that we are who we say we are. And if you conclude we're not, just get your money back. It's that simple. So I want to thank those that have typed in their phone number with the word me. I want to thank Robert. I've got your phone number with the word me. Michael asked, what is a PIP? I apologize. I don't have time to explain what a PIP is. But a PIP basically is how we generate income in the currency markets. And you can do it with a small account. That's the nice thing about the currency markets is you can start with as little as $50. And you can start trading, but you don't have to. Those that type in their phone number with the word me, you don't even have to start with any money. You can just start with, you get our software, so you can actually start with a demo account and just learn, trade with Josh starting next week, and just master the formulas trading with a demo. Do that. That's what my recommendation would be. That's what my recommendation would be. So again, I just want to recap everything. I also want to say this. As a gift, every single person in here that types in their phone number with the word me, we have our 23rd anniversary coming up. And we have amazing speakers. In fact, this is in April. And every person, if you type in your phone number with the word me, this is a $1,000 value. I'm going to give you guys free tickets to this if you decide to move forward. Our guest speakers are Kevin Harrington. Yes, you might recognize him. He's from Shark Tank. He's the original, one of the original sharks from Shark Tank. Omar Peru. Absolutely amazing, one of the world's most amazing motivational speakers. And then Les Brown, Les Brown, are you kidding me? He is a multi-millionaire. He's spoken to so many Fortune 500s. He's a mentor of many, many CEOs. These are some of the guest speakers. And I'm going to allow you guys to attend this and get into this for free. You decide to move forward with this. The brilliant part about this is we're doing what's called lead-up sessions. So starting next week, not only will you be a part of the leveling course, not only will you be a part of Josh's leveling room, but you're also going to get the lead-up sessions to the anniversary event. Our goal for those lead-up sessions, real fast, our goal is 4,000 pips, 500 pips per week. So those students, those people that type in their phone number with the word me right now, honestly, your guys' expectations for next week should be about 500 pips from Josh and 500 pips from the lead-up sessions. I'm not joking when I say there are people in this room that will make 1,000 pips next week from the trades that they get from us. But here's the deal. I can't type in your phone number with the word me. I can't do it. All I ask is a micro commitment. All I ask is take just a step forward. And I want to thank those that have typed in their phone number. Marco, thank you. Will, thank you. You've got your number there with the option A. Thank you for that. You're excited to get enrolled. That's great. Aaron, thank you. I've got your phone number with option B. Elaine, I've got your phone number. Now, here's the deal. I am running out of time. I also have, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention this. This should be everybody in here. If you are interested in anything that I just said, which all of you are interested in making more money, I'm gonna really bottom line this. If you're interested in making money, having us prove to you that we can teach you a systematic formula, then I have 10 people, 10, the strict limit of 10, that I'm going to be able to tell you and give you the details on how you can get everything we talked about today for free. Now, there are some restrictions. There are obviously there's some plans that we need to put you on, but here's the deal. If you type in your phone number with the word free, we will reach out to you. Your education specialist will reach out to you. They'll give you all the details, the ins and outs on what this program means. And what this is it's our kind of our launch pad to success, and it helps us grow our business organically and based on your success. So it's kind of like it's a build into success program. And so if you're listening to me right now and you haven't typed your phone number in yet, what I want you to do, as I wrap things up, I want you to type your phone number in with the word free. That's all I want you to do. Type your phone number in with the word free. We'll reach out to you. We're going to give you all the details. I only have 10, a very, very strict limit of 10 of these spots. So if you can hear me and you've seen this and you're like, wow, I'd love to get those strategies. I'd love to trade with Josh. I'd love to get all that. and you want to talk with us, there are ways we can get all of this to you for free, but you got to type your phone number in with the word free right now. And I'm going to give you probably a minute or two because the next speaker's coming up. So what I want to do is I want to thank those, Elaine, Marco, HTM, thank you. Thank you for that. Marco, thank you for that. Michael, thank you for that. Got your phone number. Jared, thank you. Jamie, thank you. I've got your phone numbers. Okay, everybody, listen, I want to thank you guys for your time. This has been fun. I'm excited for all of you next week. I'm going to keep this open for a few more minutes. I'm super excited for you guys to start trading with Josh, to learn a formula. It's going to blow you away, okay? Very, very excited. And on that note, we'll talk to you guys very soon. Thanks.